Ethics means what? Ethics means moral principles. Chinna vayasliye we would have inculcated some habits. That is, if you are going to the client's place and if the client is saying, sir, sign that, sir, podunga, sir. I will give you 50,000 rupees, sir, put the sign, sir. What will you tell? What will you tell? Excuse me, I will give you 50,000 rupees. Please put the signature. What will you tell? 1 lakh rupees. Please put the signature. 5 lakh rupees. Please put the signature. 10 lakh rupees instant cash or cash vaanga oru maadriya irukum sir. Kara kuduthara. Is it okay? 25 lakh rupees. Is it okay? 50 lakh rupees. Is it okay? Tell that no. 50 lakh rupees. Yes or no? 1 crore rupees. 1 crore. House I will buy and give worth 1 crore now, sir. Future. It will keep on increasing. You also know about real estate. Yes or no? Yes or no? என்ன நோட சத்தம் அப்படியே கம்மி ஆயிட்டே போகுது. இப்படி தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா 10 lakhsலயே I would have stopped. Excuse me, 1 crore rupees, I want a big no. 5 crores beach resort. அங்க ஒரு வீடு. தரந்தா beach. Beachலயே வீடு. வீட்லயே beach. Like that I will give a house. In ECR road. Yes or no? No. 25 crores. Beach house plus a car plus a flat. All settled life settled. Oh, life is settled with just one signature. Will you put that signature? No. The answer should be a no, whether it was for 25,000 rupees or for 25 crore rupees. You should not get tempted with the numbers. That is called as ethics. Student days liye, if the habit is getting inculcated, then after you become a chartered accountant also, nobody can touch you with money. Nobody can influence you with their act. Nobody can bribe you for your signature. Your signature has value. First day I told you, nee podra sign, how many people are relying on your signature? Those people are called as stakeholders. So many people will be relying on your signature and they will be giving the loan, they will be giving the money for shares, they will be getting into transactions with the company relying on your one signature only. So that signature has so much value. So first you should have that value system. That is called as ethics. Ethics is basically the moral principle, the habit which you all are inculcating, the habit to say no. Saying no is the most important thing, not for CA but for life itself. At the right places, at the right time, you have to say the no. Only then you can become a chartered accountant. இன்னைக்கு சாயந்தரமே after the class your friend will ask, engineer தான் அவன் படிப்பான், so for him second half of the day fully free. He will ask, Ryan movie has come, shall we go? Some English movie has come, shall we go? Today if you tell a yes, tomorrow again he is going to call you. ஏண்டா நேத்து வந்தா இன்னைக்கு மட்டும் என்ன? Yesterday you came, no. Yesterday also you had to study, no. You left one day, no, one day that I leave today also. Today also we'll go. Then again the day after tomorrow, again he is going to call. So one day is not just going to be one day. So learn to say this magic word called as no. No at the right time will actually save you a lot of time, will actually save you a lot of time. Time is the most important thing. Yes or no? Nowadays everything is extremely fast, extremely fast. Fast food, fast fashion, everything is fast. Yes, time is the most important thing. We have to use it wisely. At this time, you have to learn to say a no to your friends, to your family members. Once you become a chartered accountant, you have to learn to say a no to your clients. At the right time, you have to tell the no to your clients. Otherwise, one time if you tell a yes for 20,000 rupees, for 2 lakh rupees, if he is giving you, it will not even come to your head. So it is a habit which has to be formed at a younger age itself. So inculcating the habit at a younger age is called as ethics. Everybody will get tempted. Everybody will have temptation. Everybody will have a selfish motive. Stakeholder dana. அவனுக்கு எப்படி போனா எனக்கு என்ன என் லைஃப் செட்டில் என் குழந்தை செட்டில் எவ்ரிவன் இஸ் செட்டில் ஜஸ்ட் ஒன் சிக்னேச்சர் 25 crores பீச் ஹவுஸ் ஃபிளாட்ல இருந்து ரெண்ட் வரும் அதை வச்சு நான் சாப்பிடுவேன் எனக்கு வாழ்றதுக்கு பீச் ஹவுஸ் இதுக்கு மேல என்ன லைஃப் வேணும் everybody will have the temptation but we have to say a no at the right place yes or no the withstanding of any selfish motive, the withstanding of any temptation, that is called as ethics. 3 things I told you. What is ethics? The first one, it is the moral principle. Second, I told you, it is inculcated in the habit itself. Third, I told you, you have to withstand the selfish motive and withstand the temptation. Temptations will come. Nobody will say, I don't want that house. Everybody wants a big house. Everybody wants to get settled early. Nowadays the fashion is, everyone will work till 40. 40 is retirement age for our father and all. 60 retirement age is sonna enga appa core. He is getting angry. If I say you are getting 60 years old, you have to retire. That is their lifestyle. For us, we want to retire at 40 and enjoy our life. Slow living. Slow life we want. This fast-paced life, we want a break from it. So all of this is no. If you want to become big at 40, you learn to tell no at the right time, right place. Really, I am telling guys, during articleship also you will face these challenges. You will have to tell a no. In your articleship, you will not be putting the signature directly on the audit report, but based on whatever you are saying, your partner is going to put the signature. So instead of bribing money to the partner na weed for 25 crores. Unaku or biryani vaangi koduthaale podum. Yes or no? So articleship time also you have to be careful because what you are saying that only your partner is going to sign. And whatever partner is signing, the stakeholders are going to see that and get into transactions with the company. So ultimately, the work is done by you. The client knows, ivala correct panna anga vela mudchudhu. Yes or no? The client knows that very well. So you have to say a no at the right time, right place. Ethics na enna paatha. What is professional ethics? Professional ethics means நீ ஒரு சார்ட்டர்ட் அக்கவுண்டன்ட் you are a CA பெருமையா இருக்கா சொல்லும்போது I am studying for chartered accountancy சொல்லும்போதே there is one get because taking this course itself is not easy. Taking this course needs courage. Yes or no? This is not like any other course. The pass percentage is so low. You've taken the chance, you've taken the odds, you have the confidence in yourself. That's why you have taken this course. Imagine after you clear, or imagine the day you clear CA, what high you will be feeling. For all the hard work which you have put in the last 4 or 4.5 years, all the articleship, torture, exam pressure, ellam taandi the day you become CA. Imagine how you will be feeling. To be honest, I have imagined that day so many times when I was a student. So many times I have imagined that one day of seeing the result as pass and I'm becoming a chartered accountant. So many times. Kanavula or padichittu irukumbodhe kanavukku poradhu. Daydreaming. So many times I have imagined that day. But honestly, I'm telling you, the day I became a chartered accountant, the way I felt, it is unparalleled to anything, any happiness. To be very frank with you, when I delivered my baby, I got one happiness, correct? I got one happiness when I delivered my baby. The day I became CA, I was much more happy than the day I delivered my baby. I am really telling, honestly telling, promise on anything. I can tell when my baby becomes big girls. Because the hard work where I put for the CA course is much more. Delivery not much. To be honest, not much. Every mammal on this planet is delivering. Every human on this planet is delivering. It is not a big deal at all. It is a very normal thing. It is the course of life. Anyway, it is going to happen. That was an achievement. But the day I cleared CA, not only me, my entire family was feeling that way. All my friends who travelled with me, my school friends, they were all doing different things. Fashion designing, doctor, like that, many different things they were doing. But still they saw me struggle. They were with me during my student days. The day I cleared, seriously I'm telling, I got tears in my eyes, but that happiness I had, unparalleled. So much hard work we are putting, and once we become a chartered accountant, we have to act ethically. That is the most important thing. Professional ethics means you are getting the degree as a chartered accountant. You have to protect the interest of your profession. You have to protect that profession itself. When you are telling outside that you are a chartered accountant, there is some gettu with it. Don't leave that. That means don't do nasty job on the road also, because once you do that, someone will talk. Don't bring disrepute to your profession. Everybody is working so hard to stand as a chartered accountant. Don't bring disrepute to anybody. I will just tell you one small example of my friend. You know one place called Kadapa in Andhra. Veera was my friend. His father and mother are farmers. Brother was there with him. But family did not have the money to make both of them study. So they chose Veera to study, and the brother started helping the parents for doing the farming activities. Veera took 3 attempts to clear CA final, but now he is a chartered accountant. When I say chartered accountant, for you it might just look like a word. For him, his whole life and also his parents' life, his brother's life, everything changed. He is now placed in Star Health Insurance Company. He is earning a salary of more than 12 lakh rupees, little more than 12 lakhs per annum. Imagine what relief the parents will be having. Imagine what sacrifice the brother made for him to study and become a chartered accountant. The whole family is uplifted. Yes or no? So once you get that tag as a chartered accountant, never ever think of bringing any disrepute to that name of CA. That is called as professional ethics. Professional ethics means you have to protect the interest of the profession. Protect the name called as chartered accountant. In case if you deviate from this, that is, if you are not protecting the name or if you are not acting as a chartered accountant, the ICAI is going to penalize you. You might have to pay fine. It's okay, just money, paying off fine. They might suspend your membership or they may remove you from member itself. What is the difference between suspension and removal? Suspension means for a few months you are not a member. Removal means striking your name off from the member list. Adukaprom nee foundation, inter, final edume padikka mudiyadhu. So much you have studied and you are getting caught in some case where you have brought disrepute to the institute. They can even remove the membership or suspend the membership or penalize you, or can take any other disciplinary action. Clear? Difference between suspension and removal of membership. I hope it is clear. Yes or no? Clear. Now going to what are the principles of these ethics. For principles of ethics, we have confidentiality, objectivity, professional behavior, professional skepticism and integrity. Everything might look one and the same. Yes or no? Might look one and the same, but they are different. Now let me just dissect each and every item for you. The first one is called as confidentiality. Confidentiality means what? Confidentiality means what? I don't know if you have heard this story before. There was a king, and for that king, a sculptor got 3 statues. All the 3 statues were 3 men. They were looking just the same, no difference. The king was not able to find even a single difference. Then they called that sculptor and asked, how much is it? They said, this is 5,000 rupees, this is 50,000 rupees, this is 5 lakh rupees. King was angry. King asked, what is the difference between these 3 that you have told 3 different rates for 3 different statues? Then the sculptor said, there is a difference. Then he took a stick. From here, he put the stick inside one of the ear. The stick came out from the other ear. That means what? Whatever is going inside from this ear, nothing is standing. In the kadal vaangi, and the kadal vitruva. Another stick he took for the other sculpture. He put the stick inside. It came out from the mouth. That means, immediately they will go and tell it to the other person. The third 5 lakh worth of statue and the stick pota, it did not come out at all. That means what? That means confidentiality was maintained by this third statue. That's why the value of the statue is extremely high. You will have access to all the information in the organization. You will have all the access to the client information. The client information will be private and confidential. If you tell that information outside, there might be a situation where you will make money out of it. For example, you are the auditor. An auditor will have access to minutes of the meeting. An auditor will have access to all books of accounts. Any additional information, everything he will have access to all the information which is happening in the organization. In the minutes of the meeting, the auditor found out that for Daimler India commercial vehicles, that they are talking in Oragadam, a big place, a huge infrastructure is going to get built. Huge infrastructure, thousands of crores, 10,000 crores, thousands of crores of money are going to get deployed in this infrastructure. Automatically, if this news gets leaked, they know that a new model of vehicle is going to get released, or say truck is going to get released, or some EV is going to get released, something is going to get released. So the shares of this is going to skyrocket. Yes or no? If you get information of this infrastructure which is going to get built in Oragadam, and if you are going and telling somebody, they will invest. So you have to maintain the confidentiality. Confidentiality means you will not disclose the client information to the third party. Never you will be disclosing the client information to any person. Clear? Whatever client information is there, it is your property. It is yours. You have all the rights to say a no. Your friends will know that you are doing the audit for DAC. Your friend would have dropped you in your client's office. But if your friend is asking, what will happen to DAC shares? What will you say? Just smile. That's all. That's all. You will not say yes buy or sell, you will just smile. You are not going to give any kind of information even if you know it. Clear? That is called as confidentiality. What is the meaning of objectivity? Objectivity means normally when you go for client's place, this will be your schedule. Morning 7 o'clock you will wake up. You will be in your new clothes and you will be inside the cab. Client will be sending the cab full. In the cab, okay, if it is possible, if you had made a breakfast at home, you will be eating in the cab because there won't be any time for you to eat. You will be reaching the client's place around 8 or 8:30. You will stay there till night 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock again the cab is going to take you and throw you in your house. You will be asleep, or if possible, cab you would have slept off. Next, when you wake up, again the routine keeps on continuing. Client is sending you the cab. Client is giving you breakfast, lunch, dinner. That also now not as per his wish. Never clients will give food for the auditor as per his wish. Clients will come and ask, Madam, biryani veduma? Shahi gosh biryani veduma? Chicken biryani veduma? Oh, it is Saturday, you are vegetarian. Sorry, Martha, veg biryani. Like that, the client is going to give what you like, what you want. Every single thing the client is going to ask you. After you reach a certain level, not in your articleship and all, after you reach a certain level, cab also he is going to ask you, Ma'am, chinna car, I will send a SUV for you, big car. So that half an hour travel time you can peacefully sleep. There won't be shaking. Chinna car, there will be shaking and all. Why you should go through that? You are the auditor. So like that they are going to take care of you like anything when you are conducting their audit. Then later, you audit evidence evidence. There is no evidence first of all. That time you should be in a position to tell him just because you ate his biryani, just because he sent you an SUV, there should not be a conflict of interest. There should not be undue influence. That is called as objectivity. Objectivity means I will not compromise on my professional judgment, whatever happens. I will not allow bias to affect my decision. I will not allow conflict of interest to affect my decision. I will not allow you to influence my decision. That is called as undue influence. I will not allow that Rendrua biryani to influence my decision. That is called as objectivity. Clear? Yes? This is the second principle of ethics. The third one is called as professional behavior. Professional behavior means what? Like I already told you, we should not discredit the profession. For example, what's your name? Yes, Pavama, he's sitting in the corner. But unfortunately, I have to take your name today. Abdullah. Abdullah, how many girlfriends you have? 4. Abdullah has 4 girlfriends. But each of the girlfriend, he is going and telling. There is a way to correct for everybody. Everybody has their style, yes or no? Everybody has their style. His style is, he will go and tell, I am a chartered accountant. I am a chartered accountant. First girl corrected. Second girl again same thing. I am a chartered accountant. Corrected. Third girl same thing. I am a chartered accountant. What is he doing here? He is bringing disrepute to the profession. He is discrediting the profession. Nee enna vena paniko. 4 girlfriends illa 40 girlfriends vachko, but don't tell you are a chartered accountant. Don't tell them. Hide the fact. I don't care. But don't use this word to get your girlfriends. Don't discredit the profession. Are you able to understand? Clear? Sometimes what will happen, if you are a CA, you can't even be yourself. For example, in apartment, fights will happen. Yes or no? Every apartment will have this association. Every association there will be one president, secretary and all. And every apartment will have these fights. Anybody staying in apartment? You have secretary, association, you have fights. Definitely it will be that common area and fight. Why did you keep your slipper outside? Why did you park your car a little bit outside your line? Why did you do this? Why did you turn off the water at the right time? See the meter in your house. All these stupid reasons they will bring and they will fight. That time also you should be careful, because as a chartered accountant, if you use some kind of a foul language and if he goes and complains to the institute saying your member has used this language on me, they can penalize you, they can suspend you, they can do anything to you because you are a chartered accountant. As a chartered accountant, you cannot use those words. So, in the future, if you are fighting in the apartment, don't tell you are a... See, I am not saying don't fight. I am saying don't tell you are a chartered accountant in case you are engaging in these filthy fights. Are you able to understand? Clear? Now, the first one we saw was confidentiality. The second one we saw was objectivity, biryani. And the third one we saw was professional behavior. The fourth one is professional knowledge and skill. When you say you are a CA, the client doesn't care whether you are a one-day CA or you are a CA with 10 years of experience. He wants you to act a certain way, he wants you to be diligent, he wants you to have a certain skill to conduct your audit. That is why you are studying so many things and then only calling yourself a chartered accountant. That is why you are having that practical exposure for the 2.5, 3 years, so that you will also see the practical side of it and not just read and simply go. Actually, doctors have that problem. Yes, they will keep studying. Neat படிச்சு போயிடுவான். உள்ள 5 years படிச்சுட்டே இருப்பான். சூப்பரா படிப்பான். First rank holder. He will be an MBBS doctor, but he will not be able to diagnose the disease. That is a serious problem. That is why in CA course we have practical exposure even more than the number of years you will actually be studying. You are studying for hardly 1 year, 1.5 years. Yes or no? Final for 6 months, inter 3-4 months actually you will be studying. Otherwise classes are not studying. How many hours you are studying? That is the studies. Classes are not studying. So hardly 1 year, 1.5 years you are studying, but practical exposure for 2.5 years. We are giving so much importance to make the chartered accountant ready for the market. Not simply call himself a chartered accountant and not know how to conduct the audit itself. Really, I am telling, the 3 years of articleship mudichittu after final, when you go for your first audit, it will only be called as your first audit where you will be signing for the first time. But it will not feel like a first audit at all. Because you have done so many audits in your articleship, angiye adi, midi, vada, ella vaangadukku appuram da CA vaga So that first signature when you are putting, it will not feel like your first signature because you have already seen everything and then only you are coming. So the person who is calling himself as a chartered accountant should have the knowledge, should have the skill that is called as professional competence and due care. The last one is called integrity. Integrity means he has to be truthful. He has to be honest. Harichandra madri irukkanum. That is called as integrity. Poi sollakudadu, truthful ah irukkanum, honest ah irukkanum. Knowingly I should not associate myself with the client if I know that the client is doing some fraud. Before itself I know, knowingly I should not be associating myself with them. That is called as integrity. Now 5 principles we saw. How will I remember all the 5? COPPI, copy. This is your principles for ethics. Confidentiality, objectivity, professional behavior, professional competence and due care, integrity. Integrity is talking about being straightforward, honest, fair, dealing, truthful and everything. Professional competence and due care is talking about the knowledge which you have to possess as a chartered accountant, the skill you have to possess as a chartered accountant. Professional behavior is talking about not discrediting the profession in any way. That is, example, don't get into fights and don't call yourself a CA there. உனக்கு யார் தெரியுமா நான் யார் தெரியுமா I am a chartered accountant, like that. Don't ever mention in a fight. Oh, appriya, if he knows this clause, he can go and complain in the institute. Then immediately they will penalize you. So never use that in a fight. Next is objectivity. Objectivity means if they are giving the biryani, just eat the biryani. Don't make it influence it on your signature. Undue influence, bias or conflict of interest should not be there. Confidentiality means ingerundhu vandadna, it should not come out in any way. Do not disclose it to any other third party. The confidential information of the clients, the private information of the clients should stay with you only, not even to parents. You have to disclose. Because you would have told your parents. Your parents, உனக்கு ஒன்று தெரியுமா, என் பொண்ணு தான் அந்த கம்பெனிக்கே ஆடிட் பண்றான், என் பொண்ணு தான் இன்னைக்கு அந்த மினிட்ஸ் ஆஃப் தி மீட்டிங்ல இதை படிச்சா, மினிட்ஸ்னாலே என்ன இன்னைக்கு அவ தான் எனக்கு சொல்லி கொடுத்தா, அதுல அங்க பெருசா ஏதோ கட்டுறாங்க உரகடம் கிட்ட, லைக் தட் they will leak the information for us. So don't even tell it to parents also. Confidentiality should be at 100%. Auditor has to be independent resource. Correct? Auditor has to be independent. Independence can be two ways: independence of mind and independence of appearance. What is the meaning of independence of mind and what is the meaning of independence of appearance? Mind means the state of mind that permits the provision of an opinion without being affected by influences. Independence in appearance means avoidance of facts and circumstances that are so significant that a reasonable and informed third party padicha puriyadu. Now listen to my example. Independence of mind means the same as using the professional judgment, not being influenced, not having undue influence, not having bias and all of those things. This is easy. What is independence in appearance? You all know this place called Sarana stores. What do they sell? Literally everything they sell. Pin to aeroplane, everything they will be selling in Sarana stores. Now for Sarana stores, their advertisements are very popular. Who is coming in the advertisement? The legend itself is coming in the advertisement. Now, along with the legend, for example, in this example, let us take Tamanna as chartered accountant. She is a CA and she is going to act with the legend for the advertisement for the Sarana stores. Now, each and every person who is opening the TV, that legend is coming and dancing with Tamanna. Yes or no? Super he will dance. So, legend is dancing with CA Tamanna now. If everybody can see CA Tamanna dancing with legend, and if CA Tamanna is appointed as the auditor of Saravana stores, will you accept it? CA Tamanna is saying, I don't have bias. I don't have undue influence. I don't have conflict of interest. She is saying everything. Will you accept it? You will not accept it because you have acted in an advertisement itself with him. That means there is some kind of a relationship. That means there is some kind of a undue influence. Like that, based on appearance, you are able to tell that this auditor will have some kind of a conflict of interest. Based on appearance, you will say that this auditor will have a undue influence. So just by looking at an advertisement, you are able to say that they are having some kind of undue No, that is called as independence in appearance. You are a third party, but still you are able to tell because you saw that ad. Now read this. It is so significant that a reasonable and informed third party having knowledge of information, including only safeguards applied, would reasonably conclude that the firm or a member of the assurance team's integrity, objectivity or professional skepticism has been compromised. Are you able to understand? Paathaale theriyudhu sir. Idukku mela avanga prove la panna thevilla. Enakku paathaale I know that undue influence is there, conflict of interest is there. Like that, for that example I told the legend and CA Tavanna acting for Sarvastos. Independence of mind means really in mind she is having that undue influence. Really in mind she is not having any conflict of interest. Really in mind she is not having any bias. That is called as independence of mind. An auditor has to be independent in Sona. He has to be independent of mind and also of appearance. An informed third party should not be seeing you and the client dancing. Should not be seeing you and the client going out for resort. Should not be seeing you and the client going for vacation. Like that, if you are having some friendly relationship with the client, don't get appointed as auditor for that client. Are you able to understand? Don't take it wrong sense. Auditor? Yes. Daily SUV, where they are taking? To office, not to hotel, not to resort. Yes, they are taking the office to conduct the audit. That is okay. No, independence to auditor should be independence to auditor of mind and also to appearance. Both are important. Now coming to the threats to independence. This is uglier. Threats to independence means there are 5 threats to independence. What are the 5 threats to independence? Self-interest threat, self-review threat, advocacy threat, familiarity threat, intimidation threat. Now everything is looking one and the same. Yes, threat means threat dana ma'am. Adana ma'am, advocacy, intimidation, all of these unnecessary words. But now when I say confidentiality, objectivity, integrity, professional skepticism, professional due care, you are able to understand the difference between each and everything. Like that example sonna, you will understand what is the self-interest threat, what is the self-review threat, what is the advocacy, familiarity and intimidation threat. First threat is called as self-interest threat. You know the store called as Imagine Store. Imagine Store. It is in TTK Road. Apple. They are selling Apple products. Apple Watch, Apple phone, everything they are selling. Imagine Store's auditor. You are being appointed from today. After 1 week, they are saying, sir, உங்களுக்கோ இல்லை ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ்க்கோ ஏதாவது வாங்கணும்னா சொல்லுங்கள் சார், நம்ம எம்ப்ளாயி டிஸ்கவுண்ட் எல்லாம் போட்டு we will give you. உனக்கு ஆக்சுவலி ஃபோனே தேவையில்லை, ஃபோன் நல்லா தான் இருக்கு, but still you want to go and buy the phone. Now when you are buying the phone, he is giving you employee discount of 40%. 1 lakh rupee phone, you are paying only 60,000 rupees and you are getting the phone. Now your mother saw, hey, 1 lakh rupee phone 60,000 தானா? You know one thing, நீ அவர்கிட்ட கேட்ட ஒரு 10 phone வாங்கி கொடு, நான் இங்க business பண்றேன், I will start selling. Like that, you are entering into some business relationship with him. If you are entering into a business relationship with him, your self-interest threat is there. Or, உனக்கு ஃபேமிலியில கஷ்டம், நீ கஷ்டம்னா உன் ஃப்ரெண்ட்கிட்ட போய் சொல்லு, இல்லை மற்ற ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ்கிட்ட போய் சொல்லு, இல்லை உனக்குள்ளே வச்சுக்கோ. Never ever tell the client your problems, because if you tell the client your problems, he is going to offer some kind of a solution. Yes or no? He is definitely going to offer some kind of a solution. If you are going to tell him, sir, வீடு கட்டிட்டு இருந்தோம், லோன் அப்ரூவே ஆக மாட்டேங்குது, லோன் ஒரு 25 25 lakhs remaining irukku appadina he is going to say, sir, நம்ம இத்தனை வருஷம் பழகிட்டோம், 4 years you are the auditor, I know you very well, I myself will give you the loan for 25 lakhs. Don't think your undue influence, conflict of interest of all those things. Now velila kodutha I will give for 10% to you also, same 10% I will give, sir, I know you are a very honest person, I know you are a very straightforward person. Same 10% outsider, same 10% for auditor. This also is a self-interest threat. Because you have received the loan from him, because you owe something back to your client. Whenever you owe something back to the client, there is a threat involved. There is a self-interest threat involved. Whether the loan is received or loan is given to the client, or whether there is a business relationship with the client, or say you are going for articleship. After articleship, you are going to go for employment. Articleship is with a small firm who is doing big audits, but only few audits. Now, for the small firm, they were doing, say, HUL audit, one part of the audit, this small firm was doing. When you are doing HUL audit itself, obviously there is some relationship with the client. You start becoming close to the client. Once you start becoming close to the client is going to tell you, sir, nee auditor aagapora, nee auditor aayittu unoda first salary suma evlo irukum, ஒரு 60-70,000, maximum 1 lakh இருக்கும் சார். நான் ரேங்க் ஹோல்டராகவே இருந்தாலுமே ஒரு 1.5 lakhs இருக்கும். இப்போ உங்களுக்கு ஆல்ரெடி HUL பற்றி என்ன அவுட் தெரியும் சார், 2 years you only did the audit for this HUL, you can become the head of this department in this HUL company itself. You can become the head of the department. Just clear the chartered accountancy course and come. I will give you monthly 3 lakhs. Monthly 3 lakhs, like that. They are offering you for the future. Future employment with the client will also arise self-interest threat. You have to get a job somewhere, but if you are getting a job with the client itself, then you want the client's business to flourish. Only then they will pay you the salary after 6 months or 1 year. So you want the client's business to flourish. So what is the guarantee that you will not put the signature where you should not put? So there is a self-interest threat. There are a lot of cases where auditor has actually gone and joined in employment with the client itself. So many cases, at least in the audit team, they will go and join the client itself. I have seen in KPMG and in Deloitte. They will keep working with the client. Naale the client office ke padum. He will just become an employee of the client. It's because they know in and out of the client's business. The clients also prefer that. They don't mind paying extra money for you. So directly they will get employed with the client. Before itself, if you have the offer letter in hand, will you be independent in your mind? No. The self-interest threat is going to be extremely high. So self-interest threat means a firm or the partner of the firm is going to benefit in some way or the other from the client. That means they can have a business relationship, or they can have an offer letter for a future employment, or they can have a direct or an indirect financial interest. Indirect financial interest means getting a guarantee or giving a guarantee. That is also an indirect financial interest. Directly giving a loan, that is a direct financial interest. So all of these things will arise self-interest threats. Clear? Yes, shall I go to the second one? Second one is called as self-review threat. For this I have one small example. Very rarely it happens, very rarely, that Karthik sir will cook. He loves to cook only one thing, that is biryani. Suddenly he will tell, today is a Sunday, little bit I am free, or 2 hours you relax, I will cook, I will cook also holiday. So he will start cooking. He is a very good cook. Very good cook. Food will be very tasty, but that place after he has cooked, worst condition. That is the way the cooking will happen. That is also okay. After all the cooking is over, now serving time. Now they are serving in our plate. Nama saapda pomode, how is it? How is the food? Do you like it? Apne kaiye pudichittu keppa. How is the food? சாப்பிட்டாதான் தெரியும். Allow me to eat. Then only I will be able to tell you how the food is. So much excitement. How is the food? How is the food? Tell. Aprina, first please allow me to eat. I know it's very good. Actually today I added this. Last time I did not add that. Like that, he will keep telling about his own cooking. At one point, seri nee solli mudi. Adukapprama I will eat. Like that we will start waiting. So here he is making the cooking and he himself is giving the review for the cooking also. That is called as self-review threat. When will that happen in audit? When this will happen in audit is, there is a director or a senior management. He only did everything in the company. After some days, he joined the audit team. If he joined the audit team for the previous year, whose financial statements he is going to sign on? He is going to sign on the financial statements prepared by the management and those charged with governance, which is himself. So he is reviewing his own financial statements. That is called as self-review threat. Self-review threat means they themselves become the subject matter of the audit. அவரே குக் பண்ணி அவரே சூப்பரா இருக்கலன்னு கேட்டா ஆப்ஷன் இஸ் ஒன்லி நல்லா இருக்கா ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கா. That's all is the option. The way they are asking will be like that. Are you able to understand? So self-review means they themselves become the subject matter of the audit. That is called as self-review threat. Next is familiarity threat. Familiarity threat means what? ரொம்ப வருஷமா பழகிட்டோம் சார். 5 years plus 5 years I can be an auditor in the same company. So 7-8 years நம்ம பழகிட்டோம். In the 7-8 yearsல my children and the client's children have become friends and they have become into relationship and they have gotten married also. What happened? My daughter, auditor's daughter and client's son have married. At that time, there is a familiarity threat. That means there is a long association between the people that even children have grown up and even children have gotten married to each other. That is called as familiarity threat. There is also a familiarity threat when from the audit team, that is former partner has become the director in the company. The ulta of the previous one. From the audit team, they have gone and become the director or senior management of the company. This is also a familiarity threat only. Familiarity threat means they basically know everything about the other person. ரொம்ப வருஷம் கூட இருக்கு. For this familiarity threat only, they have one concept called as rotation of auditors. That means 5 plus 5 years and after that 5 years cooling period compulsory. நீயே ஆடிட்டராகவே இருந்தனா அப்படியே நீங்கள் ஒன்றுக்குள்ள ஒன்றாகி ஃபேமிலி ஆகி குட்டியெல்லாம் போட்டு அந்த குட்டி திருப்பி ஒரு குட்டி போட்டு லைக் தட் உங்கள் ஃபேமிலியை மட்டும் பெருசாகிட்டே போவீங்க. பட் தேர் வில் நாட் பி இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ் அண்ட் ஆல். ஸோ இஃப் தேர் இஸ் அ லாங் அசோசியேஷன் ப்ளீஸ் கிவ் அ break. That is called as rotation of auditors. Giving of gifts, giving of hospitality, all of these things also come under familiarity threat only. The last or fourth one is called as intimidation threat. Intimidation threat means கத்திய வச்சு இங்க வச்சு சைன் போடுறியா இல்ல சஃபக். Like that, if they are asking, what will the auditor say? I am independent in mind, I am independent in appearance. அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தா he will just cut and go. Like that, he is threatening the auditor. If they are threatening the auditor, then that is a intimidation threat. Whenever there is a threatening involved, then auditor can't do anything. Yes or no? என்ன சார் வீட்டில் குழந்தை குட்டிலாம் நல்லா இருக்கா? ஓகே ஓகே போடுங்க சைன். லைக் தட் he is able to threaten the auditor. If there is threatening, then it is a intimidation threat. Or also they will threaten saying, sir, நீங்க scope of work னு பெருசா கொடுத்தீங்க. In your scope of work there are 10 points. For the 10 points you charged how much? 10 lakhs. Now you please make it 5 points. I will pay you 5 lakhs. So he is making you reduce your work by reducing your fees. Now what you will tell? Illa sir, I will make all the 10 points for you. Like that, if you are able to negotiate with him and he is having the upper hand and he is negotiating the fees by reducing your work and all, that is called as intimidation threat. Now the last one is called as advocacy threat. Advocacy threat means auditor is there, client is there. Auditor has to be independent. Auditor is becoming like mouthpiece of client. If someone is talking bad things to client, auditor will defend. Hey, why are you talking like that? Like that, auditor is defending the client. Auditor is talking for the client. Sometimes CA can also be a lawyer. Yes. So a chartered accountant who is being appointed is also being an advocate for the client. Also being an advocate for the client. That means I am talking for the client. That is called as advocacy threats. Or the auditor who is having shares in the client. If I am having shares in the client, that means I am becoming the owner of the company itself. Nane owner, nane auditor, can I be like that? I can't be like that. That is also advocacy threats. Clear with the 5 threats? Self-interest threat means direct financial interest, or there is a dependence, or there is a potential employment, or there is a business relationship with the client. All of these are self-interest threat. Self-review threat means they themselves become the subject matter of the audit. That is called as self-review threat. That means auditor becomes the director or the senior manager of the company becomes the auditor at the later stage. That means they will be auditing their own financial statements, which is prepared by them only. That is called as self-review threat. Advocacy threat means auditor starting to promote the opinion of the client. That means auditor is becoming the mouthpiece of the client. That means objectivity is getting lost. Here we saw 2 examples, which is holding of shares in the client or being an advocate for the client with third parties. That is called as advocacy threat. Familiarity threat means long relationship between 2 people or acceptance of gift. That is the main point. Acceptance of gift. That is also a familiarity threat. Intimidation threat means there is a threatening for replacement or threatening to reduce the fees for reduction of audit work. That is called as intimidation threat. Clear guys? In one of these things in the PDF, there will be a repetition of the point. Just to see that and delete it. I think in advocacy threat, yes, the same point will get repeated. When an auditor deals with shares or securities, that same point will be, see here, example. Please take this point off, it is a mistake. The same point will be repeated under advocacy threat. Found it? From here, yes? Okay, do one thing, just strike this off. That is best. Keep this part. Oh, you already strike the down part. Just strike this part off. And keep this. Understood these 5 threats and principles? Yes. The last concept is called as professional skepticism. Professional skepticism means you should be like a child. If you go and tell my son, idudha fan, appadina, he is going to ask why. Why is this a fan? Then you will tell adu suttuna adu fan. Then he will make a round. Am I a fan? Like that, you should have a questioning mind of a child. Really, like children, you can't see that questioning mind at all. So much they keep questioning. Anything you do, everything you do, first question after I go home, he'll ask, Enga pona? He'll say, class pona. Appa class ta pona. Appa nee enga pona. Again he'll ask. He can't correlate that both of us are going to class because normally when I am going, sir is at home. When sir is going, I am at home. Now, before the exams, both of us will go. He can't correlate that. So, same question. Again and again, he'll keep asking. So, professional skepticism means it is the questioning mind. It is being alert to circumstances. Example, there is one audit evidence. You will keep getting audit evidence, correct? Or only one audit evidence you will get. You will keep getting audit evidence. You will start with inquiry. You might even do all the error. Like that you might do all the audit procedures also. So when you are having one audit evidence and if it is contradicting with another audit evidence, the auditor should have the questioning mind for this. He won't even understand that it is contradicting. For this, I have one practical example which happened very recently. So we were in search of an investor for the startup, mind and company. We were in search of an investor. We found one amazing person. He is the chief marketing officer of a listed company. He told us that I have mentored so many startups and I have never seen failure in life. Ippadilla sonnale a little bit doubt varum. So, overall he's talking to Solid. We went to Bangalore to meet him one day. If you remember, I told you that I went to Bangalore and came. We went to Bangalore to meet this person. He is actually a brilliant person. He is a CMO, really he is a CMO. He has his office, we saw his office and talking to him. Then he's showing all the startups he's worked with. Pata, those startups are actually doing really well. Then we came back home, we told him, okay, we'll discuss with the team and we'll get back after 1 month. We just got some time to do our background research. Now whatever he told us was for the questions we asked him, that is inquiry. We inquired whatever he was doing with startups and he gave us a few startup names and he told us from Taramata level na ceiling variku nanda ellam panna. Like that he told many things. But now everything is in our hand. All information is in our hand. So LinkedIn on irukku. And the LinkedIn la and the startup pair pota and the startup oda founder yaarla irundanga ellame it will come. In that one startup we found. That startup had, say, founder 1, startup 1, founder 1. We are calling that founder 1. First we sent a message on LinkedIn saying we want to talk to you about this investor. He is working here in this listed company and all. Then he also knew this person. Okay, first level, okay. Can I have your number? I want to talk to you. Then after talking to him, we understood that this person was just an employee here, that also for 6 months. 6 months he was an employee and he was in the sales team. He did not build the startup and all. Okay, maybe ஒரு flowல ஒரு போய் இருக்கலாம்ல. So we started doing more research. Startup 2, startup 3. He gave us a full list of startups. Now we have all the list. In that, whichever founder we were able to find on LinkedIn, all the founders, same message. We saw this person in Bangalore. We had this conversation with him. Regarding him, we want some background verification. Can we get on a call? Almost everybody replied. Each and every person knew him. Adoda stop. Each and every person knew him. He never worked for that startup. He never made that startup from 0 to 100. He never did any of the things he claimed. So what happened here? When we did the inquiry, we got one evidence. But when we did the external inspection, we got some other evidence. This is called as professional skepticism. You should have the questioning mind as to whatever they are giving, whether it is actually correct or wrong. Like that, you should keep questioning. If an audit evidence is contradicting with another audit evidence, and if you are able to find that, that means you've been having the professional skepticism. Clear? Yes. If they are giving some document, invoice, you are seeing the journal entry. You are asking, I want the evidence and the evidence has to be sufficient and appropriate. Then he gave you one invoice. He is saying this is your sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Whether it is a real invoice, whether it is an invoice in the first place, whether this invoice was just printed from the next room and given to you, whether this invoice was actually given by the supplier, like that you have to check the reliability of the evidences, the reliability of the documents. Once you start questioning the reliability of the documents, that is called as professional skepticism. Clear? Yes? So, there should be a question saying, is there a fraud here? Ima fraud pandrana. Is there a possibility of fraud in this place? Like that, the question should keep coming in your head. That is called as professional skepticism. Three things I told here: question for a possibility for fraud, question for reliability of the audit evidence, and question for whether one audit evidence is contradicting another audit evidence. These are examples for professional skepticism. I want you to start the sentence by saying professional skepticism means questioning mind, being alert. These are the keywords which you will have to use for professional skepticism. Clear, guys? Basically, there is one thing which they say. Police no ortha irundana veetliyum doubt pannite irpan. Thirudana paakra madriye he will keep seeing. Like that, auditor also should be like that. Whether he is doing some fraud, whether he is trying to cheat me, whether this is real, whether this is an original document, whether I can rely on this evidence. Like that, you should keep doubting that person. You should keep having those questions in your head. That is professional skepticism. That is all with the ethics chapter, guys. I hope this full theory chapter was little bit not making you sleepy because of the stories and all of those things, example stories and all of those things. Yes, 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 yes. But summary notes